Hey, everybody, welcome back to Rote Reactions. I'm here with my fabulous co-host.
Hey, this is Albert Knopfler.
So we're starting the spooky month of
Ooh.
October. Yeah. And we both thought that this would be a great entry for the month of October. So we are going to start on Anne Rice's adaptation of her works, Interview with the Vampire.
Oh my God.
Have you seen the original movie?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Oh my God. I read the books. I loved the books. Then I watched the movie. I have a conflicted relationship with the movie. And
Yeah, we
now
all do, girl.
no. It's like, oh my God. Like when I first read the books, I was so young and I didn't get the gay subtext right away. It was much later. Then I was like, wait, really? And then I watched the movie and it was kind of meh. So now that I know that there's this new thing, I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Well, yeah, and that really kind of is at the heart of why this was created. Was she never quite, I mean, while she grew to be okay and comfortable with the movie, it was never 100% what she wanted. And part of that was because at the core of the story is this very, very passionate kind of romance between Louis and Lestat.
Yes.
And they were never able to carry it off the way that they did in the books. Part of that probably had to do with Tom Cruise and his sensitivity to the subject matter. But they went as far as they could. They even had a gay director who directed it. So it did have that feel to it. And I don't think Brad Pitt would have had any problem with it. I think it was more of a Tom Cruise thing at the time. But aside from that, this is an adaptation. Now, what I will say is that they brought it up. The historical portion is not in the 1700s to 1800s. They actually brought it up to the turn of the century from 1800 to 1900.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, so
interesting.
the historical portion of the story actually is up 100 years, which in a way actually kind of really works to its advantage. And this was a change that Anne agreed to. She was fully involved. Her and her son worked on this to create this version of it. So before she passed, she was heavily involved with it. She knew exactly what it was going to be, where it was going to go. So this is with her blessing. So now that we sadly lost her, we are entrusted to her son Christopher, who will always have his mom's best intentions, for her works. He will be a great steward for her works going forward. So season 2 is about to be released.
Oh my God. Also, this is a season thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a good time to start this. So hold on while I remove my Halloween cat because she's getting a little too frisky.
Does she get like a Halloween costume sometimes? Cocky?
Oh no. Are you kidding? It would be like trying to struggle to put a costume on a puma. No. There would be far too many bandages and ambulances involved if I tried to do that. So anyways, we're going to start off with season 1, episode 1 of Interview with a Vampire. This is the new series that was done by Anne Rice and Christopher Rice. The first episode is titled In the Throe of Increasing Wonder. So you ready for it?
Oh my God, I cannot wait. Yes, let's go.
All right, let's go.
All right. I'm so excited. It's been so long since I read the books the original book and then all the others, that is this going to be like watching it for the first time again? I just hope this time we get a young Armand, and nothing against Antonio Banderas, but he was not supposed to be Armand.
He was not the right age. Yeah. That was one of the other.
Yeah.
There are stories out there that need to be told. There's shit out there that's just, you know, wrong. People need to know about it. That's the job. It's not a complicated job other than how it'll mess with your life. News used to be a bunch of guys who look like me, huddled around a desk at a page one meeting deciding what the news was. This little fucker changed all of that. I've been fired from 3 papers, hired back at 2 of them, third got gobbled up by Knight Ridder. So to be clear here, I'm a goddamn reservoir of do's and don'ts. Your sources are your Sherpas.
Okay.
Your editor is your priest. Honesty is not a tactic. You still want this job? It's your money. I'm Daniel Malloy. This is my...
Russian-backed separatists have been waging guerrilla warfare since 2014.
Can he make his fantasy a reality?
Walker stop at the key. High pick and roll from Jones. Walker drives and finishes with the...
Ooh, fight? Question mark.
Yeah, thanks for getting back to me. Yes, that's right. I have an appointment scheduled for later in the week, but the thing I'm trying to figure out is what's the deal with this subvariant business? I mean, is that more contagious? Is it... Uh-huh. Yeah, because, I mean, there's no reason to get more... Okay. So you think... Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Why get any closer to the bug than I need to? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Whoa, oh my God, cool. Oh my God. Ooh, tapes.
It's almost like 13 Reasons Why. It's done with tapes too.
Wow, oh my God, that's so cool. I don't know what I would do if I got like a cassette. I'd have to buy like a tape recorder.
First question. You weren't always a vampire, were you?
No. I was a 33-year-old man when I became a vampire.
How did it come about?
There's a simple answer to that. I don't believe I want to give simple answers. I think I want to tell the real story.
Wow. His eyes, that was so good as he was hearing it. It was like, whoa.
Dear Mr. Malloy, I hope this letter finds you safe and thriving, if such a thing were a possibility in this bleak hour. I've been following your career with some interest since our last meeting. Please allow me to congratulate you on all your successes, those professional and those personally redemptive. The passage of time and the frailties that accompany it have provided me perspective, and I suspect the same might be for you as well. I'm hoping health and pride won't deter you from the following proposal. In a week's time, in a setting of my choosing, we revisit the project boyish youth prevented us from finishing. 49 years and thousands of miles removed from the room we shared in San Francisco, I offer, for your journalistic pleasures, my full attention and my life story.
So they're going
Wow.
with the original, interview that happened, but it never finished.
Most
Cool.
man in the world.
All right.
Gave him 2 choices. He came back with Bezos, Putin. He thinks I'm in Praskovoyevka.
You've grown old, Daniel.
Yeah, well, mortality beats a heavy drum.
I wasn't sure you'd remembered me. Your book makes no mention of our prior meeting.
Gritty memoir, drugs, humiliation, self-pity kind of thing. Mentioned vampires in one of those readers tend to call bullshit.
You've had some health concerns of late.
Whole planet's having a moment, I'd say.
You have Parkinson's disease, Daniel.
Yeah. And you've got your own hangar at the airport, privileges on the Royal Maidan Bridge, and 0 presence online.
Have I hit a nerve?
I know the Emiratis are big on privacy, and that's probably important to you, but I gotta ask, what does it cost, this haven't aged in half a century, killer views in all directions, anonymity?
Quite a lot.
And here's another question. That's the sun out there. Where's your coffin?
Yeah, but there's like tinted glass or something, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have to be very careful.
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, wow. No, 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 no. Whoa. Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah, well, things
okay.
didn't end well the last time. So forgive me if I'm a little nervous.
After all I've told you, is what you asked for, boy! Yeah, but you don't know what human life is like. I mean, you've forgotten, man. I mean, you don't even understand the meaning of your own story. No! Hey, stop!
You were disrespectful.
I was high.
That was really scary.
Maybe your story wasn't worth telling.
Wow.
You've got the tapes. Hire a transcriber. I don't do puff portraiture anymore.
And yet you got on a plane with an autoimmune disease in the middle of a pandemic.
All right.
I kind of like that they use the pandemic in the story
That's my voice. But I
Yeah.
don't
because it has a bearing on the vampires
I ask
that
all
this
the
is
wrong
going around. You know,
questions.
Yes.
There's
Well,
contradictions
that's
in my mind I never
right.
follow
Yeah.
up on.
Yes.
The few good ones I
true.
do manage to get out, you steamroll over them. It's not an interview, it's a fever dream told to an idiot.
Yes.
And you? Why again? What's changed?
The world, circumstances, me, I've changed. And I too find the tapes lacking.
So, a do-over.
Truth and reconciliation.
I asked
This is such a nice way to frame it again. I'm liking it very much.
Researcher.
No third parties.
I write it, you get to see it before it goes to print, I get the final edit.
That is not the agreement you signed.
And one more thing. I do my best work one-on-one.
Would you see to Mr. Malloy's room? Have Chef prepare a meal for him. I think it best we start when our boys had a rest.
I'm not your fucking boy. I'm an old man with all the triggers that come with it. I'm Daniel Malloy. It is 10:08 in the morning on June 14th, 2022. I'm in the penthouse apartment of the Al Sharaf Towers across from Mr.
Louis Dupont Dulac.
So, Mr. Dulac, how long have you been dead?
Oh, this is so cool. Oh my God, that's
The
amazing.
year was 1910. The fall of the 5th year of my father's passing, and the fall of the 5th year as the executor in charge of the Dupont Dulac Family Trust.
The eldest son.
The favored son, and a sizable trust to oversee as a consequence. Capital accrued from plantations of sugar and the blood of men who looked like my great-grandfather but did not have his standing. But then decades of Jim Crow and the electrified light of a new century had vanquished any idea of a free man of color. So it followed the only place in New Orleans a gentleman of my complexion could do a righteous business was a neighborhood called Storyville. 20 blocks of drinking, gambling, and gluttonous whoring.
there he is.
So as the
All
honorable
right.
executor of the family's estate, you were in what business exactly, Mr. Dulac?
You could
Oh
say
my
I
God.
managed and operated a diversified portfolio of enterprises. What they lacked in size and elegance, they more than made up for in efficiency and reputation.
Mr. Dulac.
Oh,
You hiding any bills in them fat fucking rolls of yours?
I was, admittedly, a rougher thing then.
Mr. Dulac!
You had to be if you wanted to survive. You couldn't look weak on Liberty Street.
Damn, Doris, you gonna lose your good leg running out like that.
Mr. Dulac, sir, we got bad trouble.
I apologize.
this is so interesting, the way they've changed the backstory a little bit. Well, a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So instead of a pampered aristocrat, we get like a very resourceful guy.
Alderman family?
Yeah, I like the play of race as part of it.
Mhm, mhm.
did no such thing.
Gave him a chance to flood, he kept on fucking. So I gave him a little squirt of my catfish dinner for going there. Don't
Oh.
check his dick.
Oh my God.
Why ain't taking no man's dick?
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, if you just ask, but I don't care who he is. You put a dick in an asshole without asking. That's against Jesus. Fuck you.
Oh,
Louis de Point du Lac, sir. Oh, Pont du Lac. Oh, forgive me. There's so much wine. Don't worry none. We're gonna keep this here between us. Someone got the good doc on the way. Oh, Miss Williams. Isn't she a vision?
I ain't cleaning his dick.
Oh, Jesus, Mary.
Got a situation here, Finn.
Yeah, well, you got another one outside 122. Man acting the maggot, driving away business.
Isn't that what I pay you for?
It's a citizen priest.
Do you not realize, sister, your body is part of Christ the Lord?
Second time this month.
When you take that body and enjoy
And I
it
can
and
give 2
harlotry,
moons if
you
he's
are
your brother, Mr.
defiling the
Dulac.
Lord. You
I'm
take
gonna
up
knock
with
his
Satan
nose
and
off.
deny your victory with Christ. He shall come again to judge the living and the dead, and who is coming on? Men will rise again with their bodies into everlasting fire.
Go on home. Tell Mama not to wait up.
There's blood on your shirt. What wickedness is it tonight?
You're not helping me here, Paul.
Oh, but I am. The Lord told me to come, Louis. In my head, like a family of birds, many voices, but also one voice.
Saying it a second time.
Listen to me, please.
I'm having a fucking night, okay? I can't have
wow, I've never seen one of those in real life. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get on home, else I'll bleed you like a cochon, bruh.
That escalated very quickly.
Did I want to pull a knife on my brother? No. But, as I alluded to before, you couldn't look weak on liberty. You never knew who was...
Wow.
Mornings with my family followed a pattern that year. My mother consumed herself with preparations for my sister's wedding, while Paul confused the dining table with a pulpit none of us would recognize.
We should tithe it all to St. Augustine's before this house falls in on us.
This is just a temporary situation until Louis can find us some more respectable business.
Daddy was here, we still be in sugarcane.
Daddy was a lie. You still be locked up in that hospital in Jackson.
Louis, let's not have that talk.
A month from my wedding day, and what do I dream about? Dancing in my husband's arms? Children running in the yard? No. I dream of what a quiet breakfast might look like.
Your man levies a respect for the Holy Mother. He's gonna make your daughter jump a broom.
I'm sitting right here.
Plenty of brooms.
What?
He's calling me a witch, Mama.
Ooh, callback.
Walk that back.
Your brother sounds...
Wait, wait, wait. Are we going to get to see them?
Stubborn.
The witches, do you think?
Well, yes, there is.
Oh my god.
Because this all takes place in the same universe.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But we don't see it this season, I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm psyched.
Was the measure of a good day started.
Ain't got nothing to confess to anyhow. Wasting a good man's time.
Be right there, Paul. I haven't seen you in confession of late, Louis.
You wouldn't be able to leave.
It's so cool how different Louis looks like here in the past from in the present.
Mm-hmm.
His attitude is different. Wow, it's really cool.
Well, I beat those back with a lie I told myself about myself. That I was a red-blooded son of the South, seeking ass before absolution.
And you maintain this delusion how exactly?
A particular woman who worked for the competition.
The night begins.
Miss Carol. Miss Lily working tonight?
Miss Lily's on the terrace.
It was a palace of opulence and splendor.
Sazerac, Mr. Dulac.
That do fine, Miss Carol. And catered to an almost exclusively Caucasian clientele, which helped me separate the locals from those visiting from other southern states.
I don't know much what you're saying, but it sure sounds nice.
Only the impossible can do the impossible. Miss Lily.
Bonsoir, monsieur. You speak French?
We speak all sorts of tongues in New Orleans.
It's a hard table to get. How'd you manage?
How'd you manage to get yourself through the front door?
Excuse me?
I mean that as a man of your race to have privileges here.
Louis has a small empire of his own down the street. He gets some privileges.
Something funny about that?
Your name is Louis. Of course it's Louis.
I didn't get your name, fella.
Je suis désolé. Je m'amuse trop en privé. I know who you are, sir. You're the man who made me buy a townhouse in the quarter. I owe you everything. Please join us.
I know sometimes men of my race, we all look alike to you people. But I didn't sell you no townhouse.
Louis, have a seat.
Let me explain. New to the new world I am. Where was I?
On a boat.
So I'm out on the Crescent Coast, floating past your village, when I hear music playing and the shadows of men and women dancing by the water's edge. I disembarked for the music, but then there was food.
What's been your favorite this year?
A favorite? She puts a pistol to my head.
I couldn't believe it. Staring me down as his hands went wandering the seams of Miss Lily's dress. I wanted to take the end of my cane and slit his throat with it.
Why didn't you?
I couldn't move. My body was seized with weakness. His gaze tied a string around my lungs, and I found myself immobilized.
And the women, all shades of skin. White, black, cinnamon. I've emptied a bank vault sampling, I must say, but it was not until a few nights later, quand je regarde un homme sortir un couteau de sa canne et presser la lame sur le stomach de son frère, that I said to myself, Lestat, unpack your trunks. You're home.
What did he say just now?
A little more than he should have.
I had planned to make a new life for myself in Saint Louis. That was to be my destiny. And now I know I was right.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
Handsome man with a most agreeable disposition.
You're his destiny, Louis.
Destiny, very good.
The Orient room is available for the next few hours, Miss Lily.
The gentleman is swapping on Louis sausage.
Wow.
The Orient
Oh.
room is yours, monsieur.
Please get my friend here anything he wants. Wonderful to meet you. I do hope I run into you again, Louis.
Emasculation and
Wow.
in equal measure.
What a meeting. That was so cool. Oh my god, I loved it.
And I wanted to be the
The way Lestat looks at him. Whoa. That's weird, but it gave me the Dumbledore deja vu.
Come now. Who the devil?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Ooh.
I love the way the magic is folded into the story.
Each one the same. Small wounds to the body. And upon examination, entirely devoid of blood. Is their theory some new kind of rat has come ashore?
Of the 6-foot variety. We call those
He just loves his own little jokes, right? Like that's so cool. That's the character. Oh my god.
No, Louis did lock. Louis, let me introduce you to Mr. Lestat de Liancourt.
We met already, Mr. Anderson, sir.
In front of a florist, wasn't it? We both wanted the last bouquet of lilies.
Why would I I do that, Mr.
Did you know that Alderman Fenwick here recently purchased both the title and deed to the Horton rooming house on Villeray Street?
Yeah, Mr. Anderson believes it could make a fine sporting house.
I recommended the alderman find a managing partner before he commits his money. I recommended he think of you, Louis.
Very kind of you, Mr. Anderson, sir.
What do you think of the location?
Ain't Basin Street, but throw enough Edison balls on the facade, get a good margin on the alcohol, no nonsense madam to keep the girls clean. I reckon a man can make a decent sum. Yes, sir, Mr. Fenwick, sir.
I said you'd do it for 10%.
All respects, Mr. Anderson, but you posing 10% for all the work?
15?
Yeah, there's capital investment, and there's labor. Both has its seat at the table, wouldn't you say, Mr. Lestat?
Well, I can only speak of my experience, which is, I'm sure, different in my country. For example, you find gentlemen have heard of the success story that is a bon marché, shopping experience like no other. These men look down on you. I have to say, I find it appalling how men like yourself are treated in this country of yours. It's undeniable. I came to my wealth honestly and at great sacrifice, I might add. However, it was not the sacrifice of many. I had no partners in my various 10%.
I like how it goes dark when he does it.
Yeah.
Do you not know your value? Do you suffer these indignities for some larger purpose? And do you think two pair will win the hour? I believe there is great opportunity in this city. But to seize it, I'll need protection from the wolves. And that's all to say, and forgive me, Monsieur Dupont.
Oh, that's amazing.
But where is the business if there is no capital? It does not exist, no?
All right, boy, show him. Full boat, Mr. Duloc. Got the seat, Tom.
He wouldn't tell me how he did it. His trick to make the world stop. In time, Louis. Patience, Louis. Ask me next week, Louis.
You started hanging out.
He was in love with my city and wanted to know everything he could about it.
So you played docent to the gentleman vampire.
He had not revealed his vampire nature yet.
I'm assuming you only met at night.
It's New Orleans. Days are for sleeping off the previous evening's damage.
Perfect cover for a vampire.
Racing ahead again, Mr. Malloy. Let the tale seduce you. Just as I was seduced. It was a cold winter that year, and Lestat was my cold fire. And I found myself for the very first time to anyone other than Paul, confiding my struggles to another man. I was being hunted, and I was completely unaware it was happening. I'm switching rooms. I don't need to hear you and your good man making no.
Wow.
You have to be home to hear that.
I come home nights.
You come home some nights. Out catting with some white man out here.
He ain't white, he French.
Oh, that's a new kind of white, is it? French white? Invite him over for dinner. Mother loves your opinion.
Nor bicker with you. I'm just trying to give you the word of the Lord. Understand? Yes. Yes. No. That is never my
Paul crawled up on my bed last night.
I'm trying to help you.
Wept for good near an hour. He ain't taking you get married.
Levy told me of a place. Over in Gretna. Takes in men like Paul. It's not some crazy person's house like
How'd that
yours.
work last time, huh? You come out worse than before. Gretna. Ain't happening.
God on the cross for you. Yes.
I love that he has that Creole accent
Worse so
down.
Worry about your own life. Worry about being a bride. Worry about what you're gonna wear in London, in Paris, Florence. Now y'all gonna be in steerage out of New York. Once you get to Europe,
Whoa.
first class, on boats, trains.
What did you go and do?
Put the band by the deck and the food by the fountain.
Oh. I'm glad we had to see this other side of Louis because he was always very kind. That was kind of his greatest flaw, I suppose.
I've never been east of Alabama, and now I'm going to see the pyramids.
Oh, I think every young family deserves a little adventure. Wouldn't you say, Monsieur Leoncourt?
Oui, madame. My mother, she gave me every advantage in life as a young man. My first Mastiff, first flintlock rifle, the means to make my way to Paris.
It was Louis that purchased your holiday levy. It's Louis who controls the money.
Don't mind Levy.
And I don't know who gave you the right to call our mother your mother. She's not your mother yet and will never be your scientific mother.
Oh.
And what exactly is the nature of your relationship with my brother, Monsieur Leoncourt?
I'm liking his questions.
Your brother and I have been discussing a few investment opportunities.
The birds asked me to ask you. I wasn't being rude.
Monsieur
A
Frenier,
bit of profit,
could you tell me
kind of.
how you came to propose to this
Yeah, yeah.
That's good yawn. Are you one with Christ, Mr. Leon?
How about you shut your damn mouth?
Louis?
That's all right, Louis, madame. The birds speak for him. I came to know Christ in a monastery. I wanted to be
He's not lying.
just like you, Paul. And under the guidance and discipline of the
Yep.
monks who lived there, I came to memorize both the Testaments, the writings of Assisi, Aquinas, Erasmus, all the saints and scholars. My father, a vulgar man, did not think much of this education. And so he and my brothers conspired to pull me out. Lock me away. Where between beatings, starvations, and the failure of Christ to intercede the beatings and starvations, I slowly forgot all about the Testaments, Assisi, Aquinas, Erasmus, all of it. And so, to answer your boring question, there is an ocean between Christ and myself.
Stop.
Juste que cela satisfera 3 ans penchés dans la cage de votre esprit.
Don't do that shit here.
Whoa, cool.
You understand?
But isn't it interesting how he let Louis see all of that?
I am cursed with my father's temper.
Yeah. That transformation, you can really see that feral side of him.
It's the humidity. It does that sometimes. Why do we have some ice wine? And Levy here can tell us all again how he...
Is he wearing contact lenses or something? Or are they doing something to his eyes? Like, yeah, right?
Well, if you notice when he froze everybody, their eyes all look like his.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You must envy him.
Boy thinks God speaks to him through birds in his head. How you figure envy?
The liberty he has with his thoughts. However misshapen they may be, your brother has no shame in sharing them.
You said
That's true.
The lie you told about leaving the opera house early. You were near weeping when the curtain fell.
Mhm.
Hide that from your family.
Don't everybody need to know what I do?
This needs to be tough.
You did good getting off that boat when you did. St. Louis is dull as dishwater.
Yes, I feel quite at home here. Shall we have a nightcap?
Probably had enough for the night. Gotta make my rounds back on Liberty.
You must, Louis. I bought you a gift.
A gift?
A flower.
Hmm. Yep.
That's a nice music box you got there.
It's one of the few things I brought with me from the continent.
What's that little song playing?
Do you like it? I composed it for a young violinist I once knew. A boy of infinite beauty and sensitivity. I believe that is for the lips, Miss Lily.
I don't like the way mine look plain. And Mr. Dulac don't mind when I do it.
A pair of misfit beauties.
I told Mr. Lianku, you and me usually just talk.
And why is that, Louis? What kind of a man wastes his waste with words?
A beautiful man.
There's nothing to be nervous about. The curtains are closed, the servants sent home. Even the planets and stars are blindfolded.
That's your thing then? You like to watch?
I've been watching you for some time now, Louis. From river to lake, lake back to river. Looking for my companion heart.
How you do that?
Do what?
Do what?
Get my head like that.
Ever the predator.
Yes. It's really cool. This entire episode has been amazing.
Yeah, I love that how beautiful the whole way they filmed it, and you know, it's just gorgeous.
Yep.
They didn't spare any expense in doing this.
Whoa.
Dormez bien, Miss Lily.
Yeah. Wow.
And I love how the predator and prey plays in all of this, you know.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
I mean, it's clever how they do this.
Yeah.
It bears repeating. I did not.
Whoa. That was so cool. I wasn't expecting him to bite him right away.
I mean, I had experiences, guilt, shame, floating on a sea of vodka type encounters. Obviously, I've come to embrace my sexuality. Of course, you know that. We met at a gay bar, didn't we, Daniel?
It was a good place to start.
Oh, did they?
You been married?
Twice. But we're not here for me, are we?
When you were using drugs, Mr. Malloy, do you remember the best you ever had?
Berkeley, 1978. Some Mexican black tar that Carly and Pedro were slinging.
So, imagine that flowing inside your veins again. Now, multiply it by miles to the rings of Saturn and back. He had taken what he called un petit coup, the little drink, Not enough to kill me, but just enough to keep him fit. It takes an enormous amount of restraint for us, the little drink. For a human, experiencing it for the first time, it was unsettling. And not for the physical toll on my body, which was significant, but for the feelings of intimacy it awoke within me. I had never allowed myself to feel emotionally close to anyone, much less a man. I had no room for feelings like these in my life. You could be a lot of things in New Orleans, but an openly gay Negro man was not one of them. I vowed never to return again. I shut that night out of my mind.
Good luck. Yeah.
Turn my attentions back to life as it was before.
We are missing my father today. He's supposed to dance with me to start the night off. I'm trying not to cry now. And I thought the best way to honor Daddy would be to make my brothers do the work. Half of y'all don't know this, but these no-good boys used to shuffle for pennies on Sunday. Call themselves ABCDEFGs.
ABCD.
Altar boys come dancing every day for God.
I remember the collection hat didn't always make it to the collection plate.
That's right. Louis?
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, please. It's for me, my wedding day. All right.
Okay, we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it.
Whoa. Wow.
Gonna miss it.
Don't talk, I have to concentrate.
It's them 3 pieces of checker cake holding you back.
5 pieces of checker cake, a pompano fillet, 3 boudin, dirty rice, beef, 3 beans, 5, 6 wines.
Eat anything else, the buttons on your vest gonna pop off like cannonballs. Take down the neighborhood.
$9,517. How many days we been in this house?
You do that math all by yourself?
Wow.
Remember the day I got taller than you?
Always bringing that up.
Shot up like a nut all over. Daddy said I was gonna look down on you for the rest of the days.
Yeah. Half an inch.
That was a good month that month. You still doing business with that man Lestat?
Nah, didn't work out.
That's good. Cause he the devil.
You think everyone's a devil.
He's here to take souls. He told me so. He spoke
Whoa.
to me without moving his lips.
Oh my God.
Mortal sins must be confessed, Louis.
Ain't never gonna see him again, Paul.
You think Levy loves her enough? You know, Grace needs a lot of love.
I do.
You think he's giving her everything he's got inside him?
Mm-hmm.
Mother made a good party for Grace.
Yeah. And they're gonna talk about this one for years.
Yeah. I love you, Louis.
I love you too, baby brother.
Oh.
I ate too much checker cake.
Oh my God. What a bittersweet scene.
Paul!
Jesus Christ. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
That was the last sunrise I ever saw.
Yeah.
Perhaps the kindest thing the dark gift has given me.
Wow. I was not. Yeah. No.
Reminders it carried.
I think it's interesting, though, that he chose a city that knows nothing but sun, for the most part.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, why go to Dubai of all places?
I've seen death over and over and over and over again. It's boring.
That'll make a great blurb.
The diagnosis you received, Daniel, it winds your clock. This virus that's turned the world sideways.
I get it. I'm gonna die. They're gonna die. But not the vampire.
The vampire is bored. The human was destroyed. Utterly destroyed.
I was at the funeral home. Everything is going as it should. Good men there. Promised me that...
You must have said something to him, Louis. You must have said something to him to make him do that to himself.
Paul slipped and fell, Florence. I don't think this is something you want to pursue.
He was a fragile boy. He always was. And you always had to have the last word, didn't you, Louis? You always
Wow.
Momo,
What is happening? Like, what?
why was you even up there?
Watching the sun come up, Mama.
You don't get past the gates if and you kill yourself. Don't you know that? Paul gone down the other way. Paul's in hell because of you.
I mean, no. That was really cruel.
He was a troubled soul, you know.
Yeah, but I mean,
None
Louis
of
has
it.
done.
No, I know, but I'm agreeing with you. None of it
Yeah,
was
no,
Louis'
yeah,
fault.
yeah. No, yeah.
It's interesting how, when it comes to religion, how much they will jump through hoops to justify something, even though there's no logic there, which is the
Yeah.
substance of faith. That's what faith is. It operates in the vacuum
Wow.
of knowledge.
Blind evidence of his
Yeah.
failure. Easy prey for the discerning predator.
Oh, and he's going to him?
An elegant coffee. Would you tell me where you purchased?
Move on.
I wait on my balcony every night. You've been avoiding me.
I have been
Miss
occupied.
Lily proved herself a poor substitute, and I don't take kindly to
It's my
being
brother's
avoided.
funeral.
Believe me when I tell you, your brother longed for that flagstone.
What'd you say to me?
I got it.
Yeah.
Lestat's ambush had disoriented me.
Hmm.
The sermon that was given I could not hear. And when the gathering cut loose the body, I could not join the transformation of those in attendance. He would not let me.
Come to me. Come to me.
Walk you home, Mama?
No, thank you. Levy, do you mind?
Ouch.
Didn't mean nothing by it.
But she did.
She just needs to put it somewhere.
Yeah, but why on him?
See you back at the wake?
I did not go to the wake.
Yeah.
I did not want to face my mother's blame, my sister's pity. I wanted to grieve alone, but he would not allow it.
Yeah.
Come to me, Louis. Come to me.
Hello, handsome.
That's right.
My heart broke when I heard of your brother's passing.
Miss Lily.
Oh, my dear.
I don't care if she's busy with someone. I'll pay more. 'Cause I like Miss Lily. And I need Miss Lily.
Miss Lily, don't.
Right, right.
Mr. Dulac.
Wow, he already killed her?
Police found her under the docks. Said she contracted the fevers that's been going around.
Uh-huh, right.
Light up inside her.
Yum.
I'm a drunk, Lord. I'm a liar. I'm a thief, Lord. I profit off the miseries of other men and I do it easy. Drugs, liquor, women. I lure them in and grab what they got, Lord. I take daughters with no homes and I put them out on the street, Lord. And I lie to myself saying I'm giving them roof and food and dollar bills in their pocket, but I look in the mirror, I know what I am. The big man in the big house, stuffing cotton in my ears so I can't hear the cries. And Lord, I drag my family into this mess with me. I shamed my father. I failed my brother.
No, son.
I lost my mother and sister, and rather than fix it like a man should, Lord, I run like a coward. I run to the bottle. I run to the grift. I run to bad beds. I lay down with a man. I lay down with the devil. And he has roots in me. All his spindly roots in me. And I can't think nothing anymore but his voice and his words. Please, help me! I am weak! I want to die!
Oh my god, wow. That was crazy intense.
Do you think God had you, Louis, in that tawdry box? To this pig vessel? This charlatan? Do you not see how unworthy he is? How can you humiliate yourself like this?
I love this scene. I love this scene.
Christ, wow.
Killed Lily.
Cut short that magnificent life she was living. What a tragedy.
Ain't no fever out there. That's you. You bringing the death to town.
I give death to those deserving. I'm not the devil. You were wrong about that. But I can't give you death.
Oh, that's such a cool way to do it.
It's so beautifully shot.
Oh my god. Wow. Oh, oh my god. Oh. No.
They hold nothing back in this one.
Wow.
Country has picked you clean. It has shackled you in permanent exile. Every room you enter, every hat you're forced to wear, the stern landlord, the deferential businessman, the loyal son, All these roles you conform to, and none of them your true nature. What rage you must feel as you choke in your sorrow. The first time I laid eyes on you, your beautiful face, I saw that sorrow. I did not know how it got there or why. It was so voluminous. I can take away that sorrow, Louis. I can give you that death you begged your feeble, blind, degenerate, non-existent God for. But I can do it joyfully. I can swap this life of shame. Swap it out for a dark gift and a power you can't begin to imagine. You just have to ask me for it.
Whoa.
You just have to nod your beautiful head and say yes.
Good choice.
I love you, Louis. Oh, you are loved. I send my love to you. And you send it back round to me. And this circle, this home we barely had a glimpse of. No, it frightens me as much as it does you.
It is difficult to explain how his words disarmed me, how efficiently succinct and impenetrable his argument was. All my conceptions, even my guilt and my wish to die, seemed utterly unimportant. And I completely forgot myself and the barbaric scene that surrounded me. For the first time in my life, I was seen.
Oh my God.
Be all the beautiful things you are. And be them without apology. For all eternity.
To love someone that much that you would destroy anything in your path to be with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Just that visual.
To the very threshold.
Of course.
Coloring.
Yeah.
The blood. It came as a dull roar at first, and then a pounding. Like the pounding of a drum, growing louder and louder, as if some enormous creature were coming through a dark and alien forest. A huge drum. And then there came a pounding of another drum, as if another giant were coming behind him, each giant intent on his own drum, giving no notice to the rhythm of the other. Throbbing, my lips, fingers, and the flesh of my temple. Above all, in my veins. Drum, and then the other drum. I opened my eyes, and it was then that I realized the drum was my heart.
Yep.
And the other drum had been his. I saw him sitting a length away from me, radiant. And we sat there for some time, in throes of increasing wonder.
beginning.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa,
Thoughts?
whoa. I think I forgot to like breathe for a little bit. That last sequence, the entire last sequence, just when Louis is losing it and then Lestat comes, that was everything I wanted it to be. It was so intense, it was so visceral, and the way Lestat changes from being this charming presence of an aristocrat to this feral beast when he wants to. Like the performance of the actor is incredible.
Yeah,
like really.
yeah. Sam Reed is brilliant as Lestat. Brilliant.
Wow.
And what I think is interesting is that I'm going to relay a story to you. I watched, I forget what channel it was. I'll post it up here. And it was two women who were watching Interview with the Vampire, the movie.
Yeah.
And the whole time they were talking about it, they kept going, well, why would his friend do that to his friend? They're just friends. They're friends. And I finally wrote a comment and I said, girls, did it truly pass you by that these two are gay men in a very heady and semi-toxic relationship? Did you not get a whiff of that at all? But it isn't until you see it done this way that you realize how much we as in the community were robbed of that kind of relationship that should have been there and wasn't. I can understand Anne's regret that it never really came off the way she had originally envisioned, and she wasn't so pro on Tom being cast in that role. That was a studio thing. You know, and it was unproven territory. Nobody had ever adapted any of her works at that point, so nobody knew if it was going to fly or not. They just knew the books had a huge cult following, and you know, so it wasn't. That was a big tricky kind of thing they had to navigate. Again, with Antonio Banderas, they got name actors who were gorgeous men who played these roles, so it drew all of the gays in, but we never really felt. I mean, I put it down to that sequence between Brad Pitt and Antonio Banderas where they get so close to kissing and they never do. And that epitomized for me and for many gay men, I would assume you as well, it was what we were robbed of that this version puts back.
Yes.
Don't you think?
It is incredible to see the way Lestat hunts Louis. And he has this like rabid desire for him. And then Louis kind of
the savagery of it.
Later. Yeah. Because that is who Lestat is. And then Louis gets drawn in, and it's oh my god. And that
like
sorrow.
You said, he said Savage Garden. He said it. You know, and the thing that that really astounded me, and that has given me hope for where this series is going to go, especially when season 2 starts. There is an enormous thrust that their relationship is front and center. They're not shying away from any of it. And I love the fact that Christopher is helming it now, because we know in his care, he will not let this thing wander off that path. This is where the story should be. This is what this story is about. And I think it's interesting. I also think it's interesting with the whole way they've decided to play Daniel, because if you remember in the books, he becomes a vampire, he gets turned, and then he dies. I think it's in the second or third book, he dies. It's with Akasha when they have the battle with it, and then he ends up getting killed. And so in the original books, it's a character that has an end. But I think it's interesting that they've decided to play and bring him forward, give him this Parkinson's disease to show him in a precarious position where obviously Louis can correct that.
Of course,
there's a temptation. Will Daniel ever get to that place where he'll take the dark gift? You know, I think that's really interesting. And I love the fact that they kept because the book came out in the 70s, early 70s.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that went back and said, well, the original interview was in the 70s when the book
Mhm.
came out, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
ties it all back and makes it real
Oh,
again,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh my God, no, yeah. Yeah, the changes they made are very intriguing. Like, I can see that Louis's family is going to be kind of more important, at least at the beginning, which obviously in the books it's not that way, but and I was so sad to see his brother die. Like that entire, I got it right away that was his last sunrise. It's different from the books, but it was the last sunrise. And I wasn't expecting his brother to die. I was like, hey, this is such a cool character. He's interesting. He kind of perceives things. Oh, so
Well, yeah, you get a family for Louis that you didn't have in the books.
Yep.
All of that was written out very quickly in the original book. And he's pretty much a loner at that point.
Yep.
So I thought it was neat that they used the racism, the classism as a way of isolating Louis from the mainstream. He could only play at the fringes. And Lestat comes in and goes, no. You don't play at the edge.
Yeah.
You're inside here with me.
Of course.
And I love that. And I love the savagery that Louis has. We all profess when we're truly in love with someone that we would take a bullet for them and we would do our best to protect them from anything.
Yeah.
But when you see it in action like that, it puts a whole new spin on it. You know what I mean? This is someone who would literally tear down the mountain if it meant to get to Louis. You know what I mean? You can see that sound, just the way that that last priest, he just punched through his entire head. You just saw that there was nothing that was going to stop him, and I just wonder how, and since you've read the books, I love that we can have this conversation. I just wonder how Louis doesn't ever really see how deep Lestat's love goes and how, yes, Lestat has his quirks, he has his problems, he's a very troubled character.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting that Louis kind of never really sees Lestat's love in that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always thought it was a very interesting character flaw that Louis has, that he never quite understands. That if he just gave himself over to Lestat would be probably as whole as he could be, given what he's gone through in his own life and death experience. But Louis won't go there, so therefore Lestat gets frustrated, and therefore all the drama ensues.
Yeah, it might have, maybe it's a maturity thing, because when Lestat makes this choice, he is all in on Louis. He is like, yes, you are who I want. And then Louis has this entire thing that, oh my God, I'm a vampire. Oh my God. And he just has his crisis all of the time. And of course, that just drives Lestat like crazy.
Well, it would drive any of us nuts.
Yeah.
Snap out of it.
Yeah. But that's not to say that Lestat's love is without issues, because it is a very obsessive kind of love. It's like, you will save me from my solitude, from all of these failed attempts I've had at connection. I've made so many vampires, and all of them have left me, even my own mother, for example. So it's like, yeah.
We have Marius. We have all of them that we haven't read into yet, but yet we know they're in Lestat's past.
Yeah.
And so I like that. And I'm really thrilled to see how they're going to bring these other characters into this reimagined version. So that part of it really kind of intrigues me. So, well, that was the first episode of The Interview with a Vampire. And I have to say, I'm really looking forward to diving into this one with you. I think it's going to be amazing.
No. I'm blown away. This first episode was like, wow. I mean, worth the wait. What a way to begin Spooktober.
Yeah, it is. And I love that they spared no expense. This movie, or this series, they put the money in. And from what I heard, and I haven't watched it, so eventually if we get around to doing Mayfair Witches, but I've heard that the crossover is either hinted at or it's actually shown in like the final episode of the Mayfair Witches first season. So I think you do see that kind of happening. And like you say, in this episode, we heard a mention of the Mayfair witches or the witches, you know. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all starts to come together, you know.
Wow, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this reaction. Please come back and comment down below. Let us know what you thought of it. What your thoughts are on this episode. What your thoughts are about Louis and Lestat in this incarnation. What do you think about them bringing it up to the 1900s as opposed to 100 years prior? You know, do you think it works for you? Do you like the classism, the racism, the way they're folding it in? I happen to think it's a very American kind of point of view of that experience. And I like the fact that they've expanded and allowed Louis to be something else in addition to average white man playing the role kind of thing. So I do love that. I think it actually makes for a much richer tapestry of what we're going to see. So hopefully you guys liked it. Go to albertnouthbook.com to check out Albert's works. I'm at sacollins.com, and you can find all of this at ropepodcast.com. So until then, keep watching those movies, keep making those memories, share them with your family and friends, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Oh, what's that? Closing time. The bums rush in Melody, dear.